thank you all for coming. It's good to see you at least, visually here. Kimber wants to have a get together in person, which would be so cool to do. Maybe next year or something, we can figure something out. That would be fun.
Why?
So those of you that are out of town,
Yes.
you'll just have to fly in.
Everybody come on.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
host
on my
you
way.
all.
yeah. So first off, I would like to just honor Jennifer, who we all know is not with us anymore, but she's here in spirit. And hopefully she's sitting right here and listening in. And I know that was a big loss for especially you, Lori. I know you were really good friends with her, but a loss for all of us, being that she was she wrote such an important chapter in our book. So I'm still tagging her and including her in all of the emails and stuff like that, because her husband Brian wanted me to do that. Because he wanted to know what was going on, and he said this in one of my emails. He says it was so meaningful for her to be able to tell her story and attempt to help and inspire others, and I think she did through her chapter. So we miss you, Jennifer.
Yeah. I'm gonna drink to Jennifer.
Yes.
And
I guess I didn't say it was a wine thing, but I got water tonight.
I got water
So,
too.
and water to Jennifer.
Water and
Jennifer. Okay, so we're hoping to keep our call to maybe a little over an hour now, just because we got kind of a late start. But so that probably works out to, and I'm thinking maybe about 5 minutes a piece, to kind of give your update as far as what you've been up to since your chapter. It could be related to the chapter. It could be something completely different. We just want to find out what's going on in your lives. And you guys remember this little fun sign there? So this is your 1 minute warning. Yeah, your 1 minute more warning. And if you want to stop a little bit early, that's fine. And we can people can ask questions, or we'll just kind of keep it like that. But just in case some of us that talk too much, this is a good reminder. Yeah, so that's it. So we're going to go ahead and start with Jane, because I know she's got something going on tonight, and we're going to let her go first in case she has to go early. So take it away, Jane.
Thank you, Diane. It is really good to see you guys again. And boy, it seems like it's been a long year. My mom's in the hospital right now, so in St. Louis, and she's going to be okay, it turns out, but she's really, really old. So whenever she has to go into the hospital, we never know if it's going to be the last time she goes in the hospital. So right now I've been talking back and forth with my sibs a lot and preparing for a huge dance showcase that I'm in night after tomorrow. So there is still rehearsals, and there's packing suitcases with costumes and opera gloves and rhinestone necklaces. And I'm finished shooting my documentary called #SayHisName, where I interviewed about 12 women, including myself, talking about how hard it is to report sexual assault. And if you do get the nerve to report sexual assault, how hard it is to get the cops to do something. And if you do get the cops to do something, how much you are slut shamed and victim blamed by the lawyers and the judges and the family and friends and random people walking down the street who post on your thread and tell you what a slut you are and why did you drink that, or why did you go there, or why did you wear that. So the video is so it's going into the editing process right now, and I'm working with just settled contract, and we really did a handshake, but sort of informal, contract with two powerhouse filmmakers, editors slash actors in their own right. Charlotte and Jason Weichert, who are the founders of Falling Flames Pictures, who are completely connected in Hollywood, and every film that they make gets distributed and picked up by some distribution company or Netflix or somebody, HBO. And very excited to be working with them. They're coming to my dance show Saturday night. Anybody who wants to can come to my dance show Saturday night. It's happening in Midtown Phoenix. Let me know. I will hook you up. And let me see. I've had a lot of people contact me and tell me that my chapter and everyone else's chapters in From Us For You really helped them or lifted them up or changed their life or gave them some new awareness. And I still laugh when I think back to the audio version when we met at Steve Wargo's house on a day that his air conditioner had broken down and it was like 113 degrees, and going into his sound booth, and we can't have the AC on because the sound mic picks it up. And Diane was so gracious and understanding and compassionate, and I would like stand in there and do as much as I could, and then I would say I have to stop and pant and come out of the cage, so the closet, the recording area, and it was just a moment in time, and I got to pull on my acting skills and just remind myself, keep plowing ahead, don't stop and complain. So that was fun memory. And let me see, I don't know. It's just so exciting. 1 minute left.
Thanks.
Does anybody have any questions? Are we gonna have I want our reunion to be in Hawaii next year, okay? That's my question.
That's a good idea.
I
Yes.
have a question.
Yes.
I'm down for that, by the way. I love Hawaii. Jane, so first of all, congratulations on Say His Name on your documentary. That's huge. It's amazing. And I truly can't wait to see it. My question is, was it hard to get women to speak out, or was it hard to find women who wanted to tell their story?
That's a really good question. So I ended up in this Facebook group for people who were sexually assaulted, not because I felt like I needed support in that area, but because I had in the year prior posted on my Facebook page, Me Too was the beginning, hashtag Me Too. That was just a beginning that really didn't do near enough. We need a hashtag Say His Name. No one will say their rapist or pedophile's name or molester. They protect his name as if they did something bad and were locked in the cage of his shame, which is one of the lines from my chapter and From Us For You. So I said, feel free to say his name here. You don't have to protect him anymore. And I write about this in my chapter too. And I got to know a lot of women that way. I had to sort of start. Well, not sort of, I had to start. I put hashtag Say His Name. Scott Kimball is my rapist, he was 16 and I was 12. And that opened up these floodgates, and women started posting their rapist name and their sex offender. And then I got invited into this group, and then I met all these women that way. So I posted in this group, would anybody like to be in my film? I'm going to interview you. And a handful, about 10 women there, and a couple of my clients volunteered to be in the film. Wow. But a lot of women won't talk about it because they feel ashamed, as if they did something wrong, which is ridiculous. You didn't do anything.
That's amazing. I think it's huge to open that door and give women a voice of, to be free to speak it and to tell their story. So, because it's not easy. So that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you for your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane. It's awesome that you keep pushing forward with this. I know that you've been working towards us for quite a while though. So congratulations on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you for
You're
your,
my hero. You're my role model, or as we say, you're my mole model.
oh, you're too kind. Okay. Gosh, that 5 minutes goes really fast. Kimber,
Aloha.
aloha.
Aloha, everyone. So yes, like Jane said, this has been quite a year. Actually, my story started last year. Because of COVID, as we all know, everybody's had their challenges. And for me personally, being on an island, having all my friends not here, it was really rough. And then at Thanksgiving, my husband's good friend from Colorado came to visit and we went diving. And I realized on that day that I was underwater diving at 60 feet and I still had a mask on my face, but my mouth was free and the regulator was in there and I was breathing and I felt good. And I saw myself in this ray of sunshine and I heard this message, this is the only mask I want to wear. So I got out of the water and my husband's friend is a very successful entrepreneur. And he knew that I wrote my own book and that I made films. And he said, so Kimber, tell me what you're doing these days. I was so embarrassed because I had to say absolutely nothing because COVID put a halt on everything that I had been working on for years. And to change the subject and get out of my embarrassment, I told him about my experience underwater, that I heard that message. And he said, make a t-shirt. And he pointed to my husband and he said, your retirement. And so this is the t-shirt that I came up with. And it says, this is the only mask I want to wear. It has the 8 islands of Hawaii with the diver. I think this is backwards. Yeah, and some little ocean scenery and bubbles. And it says Big Island, Hawaii. And I'm releasing the website tomorrow. We have these t-shirts. Look how cool this is with the hand guard. They come in many different colors. We have crop tops, tank tops, men's shirts. We will eventually add more styles and colors. And I'm excited because I've never been in the t-shirt business before, but it's called Kimberly'sTees.com, TEES.com. And I will release it and hopefully you guys can check it out and give me some feedback. And then finally, a few weeks ago, we filmed our short film called Sand in the Crack. There's actually a drink, it's a rum drink. It has 2 different rums in it. And John Kestner wrote the short film. It was perfect for Hawaii. The inspiration for that film came because my girlfriend sent me a Christmas present and it was a pineapple doorbell ringer. And my daughter was here and I showed it to her and she goes, Mother, you can't put that on your door. And I said, why? And she goes, because it's indicative of swingers. So I told my friend, John Kestner, about it. And in an hour, he sent me a script. So it's a comedy and it's about swingers and it's called Sand in the Crack. And we got the second edit today, and trust me, the ending is so funny. So we're hopeful that it'll be released within the next few weeks, and I'll be submitting it to several festivals, and hopefully it'll end up in Phoenix somewhere. And your book, my girlfriend just came here, she's visiting. She asked me about it last night. She only had the ebook, so when I purchased the book yesterday, I purchased it for her, so it'll be here when she's here, and she's excited to have it in hard copy. And for anyone that is listening to this, just thank you for being interested in the book From Us For You. It was a lot of work. I miss working with you and Melissa so much. And I look forward to the future. And we do have to have a physical reunion because there's so many of you I want to hug, and I'm going to get emotional. So I'm done.
There you go. Oh, perfect timing. Oh, questions for Kimber? How exciting.
Kimber, I love the shirt. Sign me up. I'm getting one. Let me know when the website is live.
I will. Here, just real quickly, here is a cute crop top. I don't know if you can see it, but it
Oh, it's
has
adorable.
shorts. Yeah, it's a crop top. We have tank tops, and our website is very interactive. If you take a picture of you with the shirt on, we'll put it on the website. I already got 2 reviews. The minute I released it here in my neighborhood, everybody wanted this red. I sold out of the red right away. And I have to share this one last thing before I close. I was scared to death to do this. Could not breathe. But they say if you're not scared with your dream, it's just not big enough. So,
That's so fun.
That's beautiful.
but I'll post that. I'm going to release it tomorrow on my Facebook page, and please let me know your thoughts. And that's it. And I love you all.
Oh, we love you too, Kimber. That's exciting. I love the vibrant colors too. That's just really nice. So, okay. All right. So some of you look frozen, but are you really there? I guess Amy, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure because would you like to go next?
Sure, absolutely. And by the way, Kimber, I love a crop top, so I'll be on the site. So for me, the last year, it has been really different, really cool. COVID, of course, like everybody's mentioned so far, tanked the industry for a little while. And so I was fortunate to work during 2020 a little bit, but it started to ramp back up in 2021, which was nice for me. And I got to work on 3 films towards the end of the year, did commercials and stuff throughout. And so those will be out this year. I'm really excited about. One is called On Fire. The other one, which is a drama thriller. And then another one is called Blood Relatives. It's a comedy horror, which is like my favorite thing. And I know, I was like, oh my gosh. And the third one is in my head right now, Match Me If You Can, and it's a romantic comedy. So those, and I got to play fun characters in all of them. Blood Relatives was by far my favorite character. You'll see if you watch it. I play a crazy doctor that runs an insane asylum, and it's awesome. You know, I'm just really happy with the way things are progressing in my life. My business, I own a coaching business as well. It's called Actors Grind, and I coach auditions. I coach careers. I do career coaching, audition coaching, and mindset coaching. And I'm really happy because I have a few clients who are regulars who partake in my mindset coaching, and it helps me too. It's kind of selfish, but it helps me to really connect with them, and it just really feeds my soul to be able to help these individuals, these beautiful beings, understand that they are enough and moving them through their career, because what we do is just so hard anyway. It's just it messes with your mind so much that you don't believe you can do it, you don't believe you deserve it, you don't believe all these things. And you know, I talk about this a lot and I get hype about it, but it's progressing now in my business where I'm able to touch more people across the world. I have clients in like the Netherlands and Ireland and Canada and all over the United States. So I'm really excited about that. And with respect to my, which that was in my chapter, acting in essence saved my life. But, and also my relationship with my dad is it's continuing to evolve and grow, and he had to move facilities, so we lost touch for a little bit, and then we reconnected, and then I reconnected with his sisters, my aunts, who I hadn't spoken to in over 20 years because of some of the same, it's just a lot of risks, and so we're mending those too. And so it's just it's been a huge year of transformation and evolution and growth and happiness. And recently, I was told I'm going to be a grandmother. So my oldest son, who's my bonus son, asked me what I wanted to be called, and I was like, oh God, I don't want to be called anything. I'm too hot to be a grandma right now. But yeah, they're gonna call me Big Mama, whomever they are. And so that's what's going on. And I have a new nephew coming. So a lot's going on, a lot's happening, and I'm an empty nester, so things are great in that. So that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, let's.
Oh,
take
wait,
some
real fast. I
questions.
booked a film I'm really excited about that I can't talk about right now, but it's with someone I've always respected and loved and wanted to work with, and it's a great role. Okay, that's it.
Congrats.
Good.
Okay, I'm stuck on the grandmother part. Okay, I'm thinking, look, I'm thinking she's like, she just got out of high school and college. I mean, she looks so young, talking
God
about
bless you. You get in my
grandmother.
car. You live with me now. Thank you. God is good. I'm old enough that I could be a grandmother because I did this to my mother my age, but yeah, so I'll be 43 in June.
Oh
So
my goodness.
technically I'm old enough to be grandma, but
Well, you look fabulous, girl.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I don't have a question, but I have a comment that blood relatives, woo, that is a great hook title. Love it.
Yeah, oh, I'm excited. It's so good. It's so funny. And I'm excited for everybody to see it. Thanks, Kimberly.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes,
And
it's Karen.
my comment, Amy, is that you may be 43, but you still look like you just got out of high school.
Ah, thank you, Karen. Y'all are great.
I want the
no
secret
guess
to the
that
glowing
was it.
skin.
What would you say, Lori?
I want the secret to your beautiful glowing skin right
Oh.
now. It's gorgeous.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
thank you. I put a lot of moisturizer and I use that stuff called sunscreen.
Oh, that- that is-
Oh, and a really great Korean skincare line called Sarange. I don't work for them, but it's Sarange. I'll put it in the comments. SANGHR. It means love in South Korean. So,
Oh.
but I've been using it for 4 years and I love them because my skin was horrible before.
It
Like
looks
horrible.
great. Yeah, I'm gonna. They need to sponsor you.
Yeah, we need to follow up on that
Yeah,
one.
it was. You can see past like films and stuff, and you're like, oh my God, she's so great, but her skin, oh no. So Sarange is awesome.
All right. all
So,
right.
Amy, where can we find your films? Like, how do we know?
Yes, ma'am. So I will be posting when those are released on my Instagram, which is at Amy Masterson. And then my, for everybody, I believe everyone here is my Facebook friend, I think. If not, then we need to make that happen. And then I'll announce it on my Facebook. And then other films, I have a couple that are on Amazon, one that's on All Black, the All Black Network. It's a romantic comedy. It just came out and it's, and my stuff is very funny in it. I'm really proud of that.
I love that. Yeah.
It's
You
called
need to laugh
Staycation.
more.
So if you get a chance, it's called Staycation. And but yes, so it's out. I'm out there, y'all.
That sounds familiar. I'm wondering if I've seen that already, Staycation.
You might have. It has Jennifer Lewis in it. Not Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer. Oh my gosh, there's so many.
The funny
Jennifers.
lady?
No, she's
not
young. She
her.
was on My Wife and Kids. She was the daughter on My Wife and Kids.
Oh,
Jennifer,
okay.
No.
Not Lawrence. But yeah, it's funny.
Thanks.
I'll put it in the comments when I remember, but
Yeah,
it's fun.
yeah.
So that's what's happening. Thank you for that. Thank
Oh,
you.
cool. Awesome. Thank you, Amy. You've got some exciting things. I knew you would. So, okay, Melissa.
Okay. Let me see. I just want to say it's really nice to see all of you again. This was really lovely. I'm so glad we did this. And it's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster since we last talked. I got surprised with a just like out of the blue offer to be in a movie with Dean Cain and Eddie McClintock. And so we shot that last December and the trailer actually just came out today. And so that was really, really fun. And then literally the day that I got back from set from that, I got a call from my mom that my dad was in the hospital and was going to have brain surgery. So I didn't even unpack my bags. I went straight to the hospital. He's doing well now. Everything is okay, but it was like a super stressful, like a really high and then like an immediate low, you know. But it started a really interesting journey with his health because he was still having a lot of problems after the brain surgery. And so they were thinking Parkinson's, and we were taking him into Mayo Clinic, and it turned out that he was just taking a bunch of really strong meds because he's a transplant patient that were all interacting with each other. And so we like weaned him off of 4 of these meds, and he's doing so much better. So it was a really good thing that happened, because he was just getting sicker and sicker. We didn't know why. So I'm really thankful for where he's at right now with his health. And let's see, my husband started a new job at St. Jude Children's Hospital, which I'm really, really thrilled about. Yeah, he left his career as a journalist after like 2 decades, and is now doing video storytelling with them. And it's been such a good transition for him, because he was so underappreciated at his last job. And now he's out in the field right now, actually in Portland, filming with kids that were survivors. And he's just really happy and thrilled. And that may mean, I haven't actually even announced this yet, but we're looking at houses in Memphis, Tennessee. So we might be moving to Memphis. And so I've never lived anywhere but Arizona. And so I'm excited / nervous about the idea, but I think it could be really cool. And the houses are like beautiful in Memphis from what I've been looking at. So that's kind of awesome. But other than that, I've really been focusing on growing my business. Amy, I'm kind of building a coaching practice like you are, and I joined a women's collective that I love, that gives me an opportunity like this to meet with women multiple times a week, and they have master classes, and we get to just talk to each other. And you know, it's been transformative for me, because I got kind of like stuck in a rut. You get kind of used to thinking your same way over and over and over again. And when you get exposed to new perspectives, new people, and new ideas, it really can spark some cool things. So I'm really appreciative of that. And so that's where I've been focusing a lot of my time and my energy. So that's been kind of my year. I don't know.
Sound busy.
You are Miss Arizona. You can't go.
Well, I'm sure I'll be back a lot, but
Okay, because I'm coming there to see you, and now you're going to be gone.
when are you coming?
Well, I meant when we have the reunion. So
Okay.
you have to fly into. I am actually coming in on 30th of April to go to a wedding, but I won't have time to see anybody.
Oh, Kimber, how funny. I'm going to be in Hawaii starting on April 29th.
Oh my God.
And I'll be on the mainland until May.
Yeah.
Which
That's
island, Melissa?
We're going to Kauai this time.
Okay.
So yeah, we're celebrating Pat and I will have been married 5 years, and then his parents are celebrating their 50th anniversary. So we could just kind of like, we have our own places and stuff, but we're going together. So it'll be really fun.
That will be. Congratulations.
I know. And I'm so proud of them. They're like in there, both of them are 79, and they want to go zip lining. So that's one of our excursions.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
that is. God bless them. That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Another question for Melissa?
Melissa, I have a question, and then, well, I have a comment, and then a question. My comment is, I have 2 comments. Number 1, my grandkid is going to be in Glendale, because that's where my son lives.
Okay.
In Glendale, Arizona. So I got to come by and see Diane, and hopefully Melissa, well, you won't be there. Secondly, you're going to love Tennessee. You're going to love Memphis. And so you'll have a community to connect with. And my question is, when you got involved with the women's group, do you feel like that helped you expand your network, and then expand working with women and how you see things? And do you get a lot from working with them?
Yeah, it's women from all over the world, honestly, and a lot of them are very creatively focused. What's nice is, you know, for me, I'm not much of a business manager. Like, I have good intentions, but they're really helping me understand how to run a business, like how to have systems, and like how to operate my business and save time and efficiency with management processes. And the other thing that I really like is they're really helping me refine and like focus what my vision is, because
Excellent.
you know, I get, sometimes I'm like, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. And they're kind of like, okay, let's figure out, you know, how to make this functional. So it's been really great.
Oh, that's awesome. And congratulations on the film. With,
So
yeah, congratulations. And I'm glad to hear your dad is doing better.
thank you. Me too. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Wow. You didn't tell me that when I saw you the other day that you might be moving.
Well, I know, that's why I said I haven't told anybody yet. So
I
it
was
just
like-
kind of came out of my mouth. So I was like,
I
I guess
know,
you guys
I
don't
know.
know.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, exciting things. Karen.
Okay. Well, I've been so enthralled with all your stories. I can't think of a story I want to tell myself. The one thing that comes to my mind is the stories that I hear of people who in COVID year 1 and COVID year 2 have been, you know, so confined. And I think of Kimberly's, you know, I have friends who live in Hawaii and they begin to feel landlocked because they're in the middle of the ocean, and that kind of adds to the COVID thing. Our world for COVID has not been that way. Our building is almost probably, I would say probably 20% full. So people just kind of bailed at COVID year 1. And so in a building that actually would probably house 300 to 500 people, on my floor, there's us, the guy down the hall, there's 2 of them, and the guy across, and the room across the hall used to have 50 people come in every week. And now I think they have 5 people come in because they've all gone to remote. The attorney firm downstairs used to have 7 or 8 people, constant movement, nobody's around. So we took advantage of that. So when they said everybody had to go home, we said, well, there's only 3 of us, so we're just going to isolate ourselves. So we've gone to work every day in our building, and we just wear a little mask going in and out. And so I haven't had that same experience that other people have had that have been so isolated. Now, my mom has been isolated on more than one occasion in the last 2 years, to the point, my mom's 92, that the last time she got isolated because the whole place gets quarantined that way, is that she tested positive with no symptoms, but she had to go through that whole process and they had to move her from her place to some other place. And it was just a big mess. And as it turned out, though, when she came back, she was much more grateful for where she lives. So that part's better. Because she's in one of the nicest places. The thing that occurs to me about working with her, because I'm 3.5 hours away over the mountain, so I don't get to go in the wintertime very often because I don't do snow. And she keeps talking about being lonely. And I said, Mom, there's 67 people who live in that place, plus all the staff. And it's like the staff are, you know, there's got to be 25 people around, including their own hairdresser. But the hairdresser had to go home for 2 years. Also,
Go to 2 years, Karen?
yeah, they didn't have hairdressers on site because they had to separate. I don't know, anyhow. So finally, my sister said, Karen, it's not the quantity that is mattering to her. I said, what is it? She says she has outlived all of her friends. They're all over the United States, and she's outlived them all. And so she doesn't have any people that matter a lot to her, except these 67 new people who came into her life 3 years ago. And none of the kids live nearby. I'm the closest one now at 3.5 hours. And so the whole thing about isolation is really heavy on my mind about what happens to people who this has happened to. Now, I know that we're kind of on the waning years of being isolated like we were for the first 18 months. But I'm wondering about the isolation that occurs for people. And then, of course, all the after effects for the isolation that we've experienced for many people. I mean, I'm lucky. I have not had this experience. So I just have concerns about that. So that's the one biggest thing that's on my mind. I'll let Marcia tell you what actually she's doing that I help support her to do. However, our businesses keeps growing. We have new clients, and I'm listening to you talk about the groups and things that you're in for women. And I realized today that most of our clients now are females.
Mhm.
It just happens that way. And Marcia told me yesterday, this newest client that we get, I can't remember which one it was. She said, it's the smartest woman I've ever met. I said, but you said that about the woman last week. And she says, and I said, didn't we say that about the client we got about 3 months ago, that she's the smartest person she's ever met in business? So I'm really kind of excited about the fact that we have all these smart women clients, and that they seem to be multiplying across, and maybe this will be helpful for the country.
Okay.
That's fine.
Wow, wow. Okay, that was perfect timing. You guys are really good.
Okay.
Okay, questions for Karen?
I don't have a question, but oh yeah, I do actually. How do you get that background on your Zoom to look so movie theater theatrical?
There's a little button little button you push that says, I don't think it says fog, but it's similar to that. It becomes blurry. So
Because
because
it
my
looks very
clients-
theatrical. I love it.
you like it? My clients,
yeah.
I can't do it in my office because there's so many books and it bothers people because they want to stare and figure out what books I'm reading. And then it's just, this is my solution to not distracting the clients when they're talking to me.
Yeah, because it makes you focus on you in the
I
image.
see. That's
Yeah,
good.
it looks great. Love it.
Thank you.
It does.
Good.
Does.
Someone else had their hand up for a second. Yes.
Speaking
Great
about
questions.
speaking about the isolation, there's just sometimes, and it's not like I just consciously think about it or, hey, plan to do this, but for sometimes it comes to me that, you know what, if it's an email or text message or a private message on Messenger, I'll send out a hello or how are you doing to some of my friends, people I haven't heard from in a while. And you know what? It's amazing how, you do things like that and it just happens at the right moment. This person responds back, I really appreciate that. I really needed that right now. I think we need to be more conscious of doing things like that because of isolation and COVID and elder age, things that's going on. We need to really think about that more.
Well, one thing to add to what you're saying, Blaze, is that my sister and I are pretty conscientious about calling mom at least weekly. In the last several months, I've gone to calling her every day, even if it's only for 5 minutes. And because that seems to be making more of a difference than if I call and talk to her for 15 minutes or an hour weekly. So my sister calls her on the way home. My sister lives in Tucson, and I call her usually in the morning so that we actually have some constant conversation going. Otherwise, I'm going to have to move her to Portland, then she'll know nobody. So
right.
I'd rather, so that's what we're working on.
Yeah.
You're awesome, Karen. You cracked me up.
Yeah.
Like, what books are you reading?
We're gonna look.
Yeah.
A lot of
Oh my
books.
I bet. Okay. Well, why don't we just go ahead and thank you, Karen. Why don't we go ahead and go to you, Marcia, since she kind of alluded to something that you guys were working on.
Well, Karen and I did the chapter together, and the name of the chapter was I grew up in a car, and I grew up in a restaurant. So I grew up in a restaurant. Karen grew up in a car because her father was a.
My parents are evangelists.
Uh-huh. And my parents were restaurateurs, and we owned farms and cattle and all kinds of stuff. I grew up there. It's been an interesting year. 3 years ago, I set an application in to get my doctorate program started, and I got accepted, and I didn't do anything with it because my brother Elvin, my oldest brother Elvin, who had a heart transplant, talking about transplants, and lived 21 years with his heart transplant, and only had problems in the last year. He got shingles. And so when he got sick, he had already moved to my house. He lived with me. But when he got sick, I couldn't do the doctorate program because it was just too much to be at work and dealing with clients and having him get weaker and weaker and weaker. So he passed away February 12th of 2021. And here's the funny story about him. We would always, because he was a heart transplant for a long time, and he hadn't been feeling well for about a year with this shingle stuff. And we were horrible together because I would come home and I told him, please don't die on my couch. I mean, that's a terrible thing to do to your sister. I'd tease him about it. So somewhere in the middle of having shingles. He was feeling really terrible. And I came home and he was sitting on the couch, but he kind of slumped over. And I thought, dang it, that guy, he died on my couch. I can't believe it. So I went over and I thought I got to check his pulse because, you know, he's like completely still. So I put my hand and I was down there, you know, and I was trying to listen to him breathe. And I had this hand. And then he said, what are you doing? I just like flew off the couch and fell on the floor. And he thought that was the funniest thing that he ever did. He was always pulling jokes on me. But he passed away. He had lost much pounds. He weighed 95 pounds when he died. And shingles, he had shingles for an entire year.
Oh, no.
And recently his cardiac transplant person who was with him the whole time called and said that they think that he, in studying all the things and studying the medication he was taking and studying everything, they think he had shingles in his esophagus. That's what they believe happened to him.
Oh, wow. How
So
old was he?
yeah, he was
How old was
he was going to be 80. So he got his heart when he was 50. Was he going to be 80? I think so.
Something like that. Yeah.
He was an old guy. And so the two funny things is he left me notes about things he wanted me to do. Like, here, make sure my car gets fixed, because he has a El Camino, an old El Camino that's like an ancient car that he was getting fixed. And he had like this list of things. And then he left little messages on the back of things, like, give this to my daughter. And he must have been doing it for years. But one of the messages he left was, make sure you get your doctorate done. So that was one. And then the other 2 weeks later, my other brother, they're close. They were 12 months apart, 12 months and 2 weeks. He had a stroke and he passed away exactly 2 weeks after our oldest brother. And so he was our second oldest brother, and that was unexpected. But my mother used to think they were twins because they were 12 months and 2 weeks apart, and they always did weird stuff. Like, they didn't live in the same city and the same thing would happen to them, you know, similar things. And so my mom always thought they were like twins. So that's my story. The circle around of all of that is that I have started my doctorate program. I'm in just completing the third class of, and I have 17 more classes to go. And thank goodness for Karen, who's like the best researcher in the world. And my nephew, who's the best, like, okay, you can do this. What are you doing now? Kind of guy. And it's excruciating. I really have been like, I've been blessed with a great life and a great business and a great business partner. And I haven't worked so hard in like 30 years. Because it's not hard to work with clients. That's my easy thing to do. But this is difficult. So, and I have questions like, does anyone care about this stuff, Karen? Why are we reading about 1829, so you can kind of see my attitude. My attitude is action. Thank goodness for Karen.
Well, that's good. And I have a question for you then. When will you be done? When is your estimated time to be finished with that?
I am going to be finished I started in October of 21, and I expect to be finished I hope to be finished by the end of next year.
Well, good.
Yeah, if I keep at the same pace, provided that I don't overload myself and lay down and not ever get up again. Which is not my normal way of being. My normal way of being is let's go. But this is like, oh, it's excruciating. But it's getting better.
One last thing about that. In academia, it's a whole nother lexicon. It's a whole nother language. It's a whole nother way of thinking than any of the organic work we've done for 40 years. And they just keep putting us in little boxes. And if any of you have had this experience, so that's probably been the hardest thing to adjust to.
Yeah, it has to be this way, and the comma has to be here, and the period has to be here. And so now I'm just like surrendering. So that's it. So now I'm talking to clients because I'm trying to put it into practical application, and we do multi-generational businesses. We work with them, and I just keep thinking, okay, what's practical? So I anything I can make practical out of it, I'm just reflecting it into the client base just to help myself and them.
Okay. Well,
I have a thank you for Marsha.
yeah.
I have a thank you.
Yes.
I have a thank you for Marsha. That really made me laugh because, well, and also my heart really goes out to you because holy cow, what you went through in a very short span of time, losing both brothers. And my 1 year and 3 weeks older sister, we're Irish twins. That's Irish twins. And I live in Arizona and she lives in St. Louis. And we've had weird things where we had the same things happen at the same time. Like we both got proposed to within a few months
Yeah.
by our respective boyfriends, and both proposed with a heart-shaped diamond ring. So
I know.
weird.
It's like,
We buy the same dishes, even though we have no idea the other one's buying dishes. That is our kind of humor that really made me laugh, because you better not die on my couch would be exactly the kind of thing we would say to each other. And that was just a beautiful and awesome and sad story. So thank you for sharing that.
I
That
did
would
tell my
be a
brother
great
Bill.
title.
Yeah, I did
That
tell
would
my
be-
brother, excuse
Well,
me.
someone's time to talk.
Yeah,
I said that would be a great title for a book.
I just
Yes.
thought of that, just as she said that.
As she said that, I thought, oh my, a new chapter.
My brother
Oh,
Bill,
Diane,
who
we need
was
a new book. We could write a new
who was
chapter.
the Irish twin, I
Yeah.
said to him, he could hear, and he was, he made the decision to go into hospice. And I said, we were cleaning out his storage units because he's an electronic engineer for his like 50 years. And I thought, oh, we got to do something. We got all these people here. Let's clean the storage units out. So we're out cleaning the storage units. So I came back and I woke him up and I said, I know why you did this. And his eyes got really big and he was kind of, trying to smile, and he listened. And I said, you did this so you didn't have to clean those storage units out. And he's like, yeah. So that was our crazy sense of humor.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna do two things here. One is that I'm gonna want to take a picture of us all smiling, and then we're gonna give it to Veronique because she needs to leave in like 5 minutes. So everybody smile. All right, got the screenshot. All right, Veronique, you're up. You're on mute, I think, right now. So
Yes,
thank you. All right.
thank you. Well, I'm happy to see everyone, and that makes me just want to smile. And yes, I'm sorry, but I have to leave in 5 minutes. So I make it short. What have I been doing the last year? It was also a lot of changes. Yeah, mostly like, general changes, like professionally, is after 30 years of coaching business and being a therapist, I completely decided to let that go. And I now decided from the year 2022 to focus on jewelry making. So that was first like more like playing with it, but now I am really serious about it.
That's great.
So I am taking over every space in the house that I can. So my husband sold his car, and the moment he drove out of the garage, I was already ready with my table to take over the other part of the garage. So this is what I'm mostly doing now. It's kind of a full-time job, and I launched my website. That's just my name, really easy. If you don't even want jewelry, and I have a lot of work. A lot of people are asking me things to do, and what I mostly want to achieve with the jewelry is that it has to be meaningful. So I really want it to be like, it's something that is really important to that person, and it also something really personal. So I have a lot of offers going and questions and demands of people that want to create something, and it's fun. It feels like I am retired, but I'm not. I feel like, okay, I'm doing whatever fun thing that I love doing. So that's the most important thing that is going on in my life. That makes me really happy, and I see people are happy with what I make. So that's good.
That's nice.
The other thing that is, yeah, what's going on in our lives is not so much fun. And that's, we were in the running for like now 6 years for a green card. And we finally got our answer that we are denied.
No.
So that means a lot of changes again for my husband. And we are just trying to figure out how we are going to run our lives and where we will be living. So my husband has a job as a pilot again in the Netherlands.
Mm.
So he starts 1st of August there. But my boys are in the States, so they are still studying. I have one in Boston, I have one in Tempe. So yeah, I decided to become a tourist and travel from one place to another, and mostly be in Arizona. So this is, yeah, how it looks today. So that's a little bit complicated. But you know, I take it one day at a time, and it's for now, and maybe in a year things can be completely different again. You never know what the future will bring.
Mhm.
So I see it positive. I see it as an opportunity to travel more instead of staying at home like the last 2 years that we could not travel. And that's also why I did not see my family in 3 years. We couldn't with COVID. So it opens opportunities to go all over. So every 3 months I have to get out of the States. So that means I go to Hawaii, I go to Mexico, I jump over the border, I come back. So that's how I see it. So this is what's going on in my world for the moment.
Wow, wow.
Will you be able to reapply? Do they let you reapply for your green card?
Well, if if my husband would find another American job, then he can reapply. But like we appealed, and it was a whole process. So it was denied, and then we appealed, and it took a long time. And then, the answer was like, okay, an American can do this job, so we prefer an American instead of someone.
Oh, crazy. Wow.
Yep.
You need to unmute.
Karen, you're muted.
Is it both of you or just one of you that has the green card problem?
Well, I am, it's just one, my husband is the one who has the green card, and I am the spouse. So whatever happens with him is also, happening with me. And then the children are on another visa. So I have one on a student visa, and the other one is doing his master's. So he is studying also on an F1 visa. So it's really, really complicated situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
There
Wow.
must be a reason why you are attracted to that kind of complexity.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well-
that's a good one.
Congratulations on your jewelry business. And it's your first name, last name.com.
It's my first name, Veronique Benoit, jewelry, one
Jewel-
word.com.
Jewelry.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
So subscribe on my website.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
to
And you
get
do
informed.
custom jewelry as well?
Yes.
She did me a little FUFY book thing that was so cute.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
know.
I have
think I
I have
posted
an
one.
idea of something I would love to get, so I will be contacting you for that, Ronnie. So,
That's
and I
cool.
agree, you being able to travel to all these places, you'll be able to connect to people, and it'll expand your business even more, and the things you create, and based off of your travels and everything, your inspiration will come, and you will be
There you go.
internationally known. Bam, now you got it.
There you go. And that's the answer to the question of Karen. I need to go internationally.
Yeah.
Worldwide, baby, worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a little push.
Yeah. So we've got two more. We got Lori and Kathy. But before you go, Veronique, if any of you have I mean, you have these updates, if you send me information with your links or, that kind of stuff, I will put that on the on the FUFY Facebook page as an update. If you guys, if you want to do that, just let me know. It's, so.
Actually, there's 3 more people left because you're included, Diane.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Well,
Oh,
we
yeah,
want-
well,
So
yeah.
it's
I'd
two.
rather get to you guys. So, thank you. Okay. Lori.
Thank you.
Hi. Wow. Okay. The last year has been absolutely crazy. I have been really, really busy since I started feeling good. I kind of felt like I didn't want anything to hold me down. And when I started feeling good, a pandemic happened and I got stuck. But as independent filmmakers, we had a way to work. So I did. And one of the first movies that I worked on after our book was a rom-com titled Flowers and Honey. It's a TV movie. It should be coming out soon. I stunt doubled for the lead actress, Ashley Newborough. And I actually did my 1-minute author video during the filming of that. So that's pretty neat. Then I was begged to join my stepchildren's high school PTSO, and they needed a treasurer or they weren't allowed to actually have a parent teacher student organization. So I stepped up and stepped in and did that. And we ended up doing so much volunteering, dozens of events and supporting, the principal, staff, and faculty. And we were allowed to do a boutique. It was kind of last minute, a vendor fair. And we raised over $10,000 to give out as scholarships for the seniors that are graduating this year. One of the big movies that I worked on was over the summer. I worked in front of and behind the camera on action film Pursuit, which was directed by my husband, and it starred John Cusack and Emile Hirsch and Elizabeth Ludlow and Jake Manley. And I got to play the role of an undercover policewoman, which I love. And behind the camera, I was a production coordinator. We made that movie during the Delta virus outbreak, and Arkansas happened to be the hot spot. And it was not just the hot spot literally, it was figuratively. It was the hottest place. I mean, I grew up in Arizona, born and raised, and Arkansas in the summer was something else. It taught me what hot really is in the South. So that was an eye-opening experience and unforgettable. That movie is out. It's everywhere streaming for purchase right now. It charted to number 2 on Apple iTunes on its release. So that was really exciting, especially for an independent film. That was kind of really a big deal, especially at the time, when things weren't, Hollywood just shut down for a while. So it was pretty amazing. And now it's on Blu-ray and, in stores and everything like that. And then I got to co-produce another film, and I stunt doubled for 2 actresses in that theatrical film. It's another thriller titled Out of Hand, and that's currently in post-production right now. And currently developing projects. I've got a pilot and a music video. We're renting our equipment. Things are really picking up, and I have different films in different stages of post-production at the moment. Oh, what else? I celebrated my 10-year wedding anniversary with my husband, so that was exciting. I'm waiting for an award for that. I've also inspired by finally opening up and telling my story here about my illness that I hid for so long. I've started to pen my tell-all book, in my, tell-all in-depth account of my illness and how I found my way out and found my way to the road of healing. So I'm so excited about that. I am just over the moon, and I
I don't even have enough time, and I want more time to be able to work on that. But I do what I can. Midnight writing is what I tend to do with that. However, my health to report, I wish I could say I'm doing perfect, but I'm not. I am doing good. I'm doing great and I feel great. However, I still can't get rid of some of these metals that are in my body, and a few of them ticked up. So next month I go back to 6 more months of heavy metal removal. And it's just a small detour, and I know the way out of it. So, I got this, and the hard part's over. I know I'll be okay. And, finally, the last kind of thing within this year that I did that had such a huge impact was really heartbreaking. And that was, participating in speaking at Jen's celebration of life. Brian, allowed me to speak about our beautifully, incredibly talented, inspiring co-author. And, she sadly lost her battle with colon cancer in December. And, her chapter was Conquering Like a Queen. And boy, did she fight like a warrior, though. And I know how happy and proud she was to share these pages with all of us, and to be asked and to bring awareness to colon cancer, especially in younger people. And I know she's watching over all of us today and cheering us on like she always did. So that was really a special moment, and one of the most important speeches I have given. Unfortunately, have given a lot. I've lost a lot of people this year. I know a lot of you have spoken about losing people, and I've lost about 7 people over the course of a year. So a lot of us are grieving and a lot of us are hurting. But like Jen said, we've got to find that silver lining, and make our lives meaningful. And this book is. So thank you, Diane.
I hate to do that. Yeah. No. Any
I have a question. Lori, when you talk about the heavy metals in your body, can you tell me how they get there? And is it in everybody's body and your immune system is just more susceptible? Or can you explain just a little bit more about that?
I'll try to make a quick explanation. Everybody all the time is ingesting heavy metals, whether it's in our air, our water, our food, or what. However, my body just doesn't work like an average healthy person. It kind of holds on to these metals, and there's other reasons why it would, because of my illness. Certain viruses feed off of heavy metals, so I don't know if my body is trained to just hold on to them because that's a food source or not. But for me, it just every vaccine I get, every shot I get, everything I do, it doesn't go away. Normally it just clears through the liver and it's done, but mine, it doesn't. It just builds up. And I mean, I have one strange thing that's just not moving, and it's barium. And that, when you go get a CT scan or whatever, you take a gram drink or, whatnot, that one, and I did that so long ago. I had my first 21 years old, and it's still there. So that's really freaky. And once these metals start building up and getting bigger, it starts causing havoc on your body and causing illnesses and creating those ways for autoimmune illness to pop up and, attack, because your immune system, goes down. So I literally don't know how it's happening. But it is, I'm still okay, but normal people really don't have to worry about it, but it's something I don't feel that medical professionals are really looking at and testing people young enough for.
yeah. Wow.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. And
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a personal email because I have some things I want to share with you about that. So
I would love it.
So can you put your email address or send it to me through Facebook or something? Okay.
Absolutely. I will do that.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you.
Congratulations, Lori, on all of your amazing stuff. And that was beautiful what you said about Jen. Gord, it was really beautiful. So sending you all the love. Oh, and one of these.
And one of those two. Okay. Gosh, I wish we had longer. Kathy. Thank you for being patient.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for giving me this time. I have to say that what I found after being a part of this project is that I received a lot from it. It made some things clearer for me in my life as to why I am the way I am and why I do the things that I do in my life. Just hearing all the things that you ladies have discussed about your lives and what you've gone through this year. As an adult, everything that I've worked on and been a part of has always been about empowering other women. So with that being said, a lot of the things you're talking about, from Jane to Lori, from all of you guys, that shows me that what I'm doing, I'm on the right track. I always wondered, why am I doing these things? Why am I investing so much into other people? Or, I mean, just some of the things that I do, it is all, I feel like it's always been about the other person. But I've learned that too, that from stemming from childhood, I needed a lot of that also. So what I'm giving to others, I'm receiving back as well. I never saw it that way, but I learned over the last couple of years that the things that I'm giving, I'm receiving back also. I've received a lot that has taught me about who I am as a woman, as a person. So I've gotten really clear about who I am and why I do what I do. So over this last year, speaking about COVID and everything, you know, things opened up a little bit, but I was so excited. I was a part of a talk show, a daily talk show, and it had a focus on entertainment. So for me, it was such a pleasure to be able to sit down and talk and interview so many amazing people here in Arizona. You know, we have our little cliques, our little pockets of people that we know, but to sit down with people that you don't know and hear about what they're doing in a state. I mean, I'm a native of Arizona, and some of these people that I had never ever heard of before. And to hear that, hey, they're doing this in our state was just amazing. And to hear from all the women that are doing so much, from authors, from actors, filmmakers, musicians. I mean, that I enjoy that so much. And it wasn't, and it's not all about the hosting and the show. For me, it's about sitting there, meeting, talking to these people and hearing about what's going on in their life and taking back from what they've gave me that day. I interviewed Melissa, Diana, and you know what? I learned, I mean, I've been knowing those two ladies for quite a while, but I learned something new from them. So it was amazing. We filmed, my director always yelled at me, 72 episodes. So it was a crazy schedule. We were filming every Saturday, and we started off, oh, they were trying to kill me, no. We were doing 4 guests a Saturday, and then we realized, why are we working so hard? We really don't have to do that many. So we went down from 4 to 2 and just extended the time. But with all of that, I believe I had mentioned last year that I was starting a nonprofit for special needs moms with special needs children. And I got that started. So I'm working on that, and I'm totally excited about that. And again, with that, my focus is still on women because it's about this mother that's given birth to a child that, you know, we get pregnant. We're so excited that we're pregnant. I remember when I got pregnant and realized, oh, I'm having a baby. And I remember the first time I ran to the store to go and buy a little pair of booties. So I was so excited. You think about all these things that you're going to do with this child, the baby shower and all these things, but then something changes. It doesn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen. You realize that you may have to, you deliver the baby early and you find out the baby has a disability. So you're a different kind of mom. And that mom goes unnoticed. And it's not intentional, it's just that people don't know how to treat you. So you're not treated as if you're not that mother that had that special newborn baby. You're a different kind of mom. And I like to call them my special moms. So that I got that created. So I'm so excited about that. It's called Raising Brit. I named it after my daughter. We do have a website if you'd like to check it out. It's called Raising Brit. It's raisingbrit.org. So my goal here is I want to get a facility because one of the biggest fears as a mom with special needs child is what happens with my child when I'm not around. What if I was to leave this earth today? Who's going to take care of my baby? And even as the elder parent, that fear never leaves you. So that is one of my dreams, is to get a home so that I can help some of those parents with resources and help them to relieve some of that fear. But I won't talk about all that because it's a long story, but I just wanted to just give you guys a little bit about what I've been working on with the nonprofit.
That's awesome. That's very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Maybe one question. Someone have one question for Kathy?
I have a comment, just you made me cry. It's so beautiful. You have such a bright heart and soul, and what you're doing is necessary. I mean, you opened my eyes up because I never thought that when you're not here, what happens to your child. So I'm going to pray for you, send you lots of island vibes, and
Thank you.
You can do this and you will do this, and I'm claiming it for you. So it's done.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Name of Jesus. Can you put that in the comments, please, Kathy, the name of your organization?
I certainly will.
Thank you. And
Thank
and it's
you.
awesome. That's fantastic.
And Kathy, use us as your evangelizers if you're ever fundraising or need, support getting words out or anything. Like, we will be your army of support. So use us.
Most
Absolutely.
definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, thank you. Thank you all so much. I'll do mine in like 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So obviously I've been working on FUFY, and we have Kimber and Danielle and I are actually going to be on the She Talks program, which is put on by Arizona Foundation for Women. And it's a midday type of thing. They're going to record this session. And so I'll send all the links all for that kind of stuff. So, and then just trying to, get through this anniversary thing. We've got one more day to go. So if you know anybody or you want to give gifts of the book, just make, the paperbacks or whatever, just let me know before tomorrow or by tomorrow. Besides that, I've been working on, right after FUFY was put out, I put out my trilogy. So it was a three books, one story basically. And in the first chapter, one of the main characters wakes up living in somebody else's body. So she goes on this journey to figure out why and how to kind of get out of that. So it was really fun because I mean, how many times have you ever been in somebody else's body? I mean, nobody has. So it's like that. What would you do if you're experiencing some of the same things that person is experiencing and having to go to their job that they've been doing? So it was fun. It's kind of a thriller type of book, but it's called Awake as a Stranger. And you can find that on my website, on the dianedressback.com website, if you're interested. I do have a way to read the first 5 chapters to see if it's a story that you might be interested in. And if that's the case, just send me an email and say, I want it. And I will send that to you. And then I've also been working on screenplays, taking some of my novels that were actually first screenplay or film ideas and went to novels, and now they're coming back into screenplays. So I've been working on that. And we did a short film in February too, basically based in, it was a new script, but it was based in the world of one of these feature screenplays. So that was kind of fun to do that. Lori, I know you've seen that. We're doing a director's cut now to add a little bit and, take a little bit more time with it. So, but yep. So that's what I've been up to lately. And I'm so happy to see you guys all here. And we miss all of the ones that couldn't make it tonight. But it's been a joy really listening to all of your updates and heartfelt updates, good stuff, sad stuff. You guys are amazing. FUFY really was such an impact for me. And I so much appreciated all of you for participating in it. And yes. So anyway, did you have a
Diane, my question is, what was the impacting part for you?
for doing the book?
Yeah.
Well, I am a coordinator of things. I love putting people together. And so I think the most impact was hearing how sharing chapters made a difference in the writers. The people that wrote it, like Kathy talked about, how it kind of helped solidify some things. And Lori, sharing her story for the first time, a little bit of it, and then, you'll share the rest in yours. And just I had so many people mention to me that it had an impact on them and sharing their stories. And it's led to something bigger that they're hoping to accomplish. So that makes me really happy about all that. So
I have one more comment then. You describe yourself as a coordinator, and it occurs to me that you're more like a choreograph versus a coordinator, because there's something, the dancing of all this together.
Mhm. She's also like a broker. So, and the currency is love and joy and peace and all of that good stuff.
That's nice.
She could also be a yenta.
Yeah.
I'll take all
You're a
those.
matchmaker. You're all the things.
Everything.
Di-
No.
Diane, what's happening with the audio book? I know we all
Oh,
put
it's
audio.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. It's out there. In fact, I'd love for you guys to go get a copy of it, because it's not only you guys reading, but then I also added extra material at the end. And basically it's the audio from each of your interviews that you did. So people that want to listen a little bit more about things. So
How do we find it? I mean,
I'll get that from my mom. That'll entertain her.
yeah. I mean, I would love it, because I would love to have you guys get a copy of that. It's I'll drop it in here, but basically if you just go to there we go. Just go to-
Amazon, right?
just go, no, well, you can get it through Audible if you want. But if you just go, if you want to do it, because everything that I sell, all the net proceeds go to Arizona Foundation for Women. And so if I can sell directly, I'm able to get more money.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
that's why for this anniversary, I made it, okay, I can send you a signed paperback because I can raise more money to give it to them. And then you can get the audiobook on Audible or various places, but until tomorrow, I've got, well, it's on sale tomorrow through directly.
Is that in the email you sent out?
Yeah, I will follow up on that. Yeah. And if you go to FromUsForYou.com, the information is on there, and basically it's through Authors Direct, and Authors Direct is basically they just deliver the audiobook to you. So there's a player and it looks just like Audible's. It's a player and you can listen to it and it'll keep track of where you're at, for as long as you listen, and all that kind of stuff. So all the normal things. It's like I said, it's on sale through tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can just it's the same price as the book, $15.99 on regularly. And so again, more money can go back to Arizona Foundation for Women. So that's
Yeah, it's real easy on the website. I'm on there now from Us For You, and all you have to do is click on it.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Click on the link, I'll take you right there. So yeah.
Sounds
Click.
good.
So,
Diane, are you gonna do Awake as a Stranger as a screenplay? Are you gonna shoot it or what?
it's that would be more of a series, and I know nothing about writing series, but it really would be the way the story is written would be more a series, but
Well,
I don't
I'll
know.
DM you then.
You what?
I'll DM you then. I'll message you.
Okay, that's good. I would love that. So, okay, ladies, thank you so much. Let me see if there's anything else.
Grace,
And I think,
Wait, there's your hand up.
yes, Kathy.
Oh, wait.
One quick question. What was the foundation's thoughts of the book?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Good job, Blaze. See you still interviewing.
I mean, some of them I sent copies to a couple of, I sent copies to Misha, the CEO, and to Ellen, the contact. I don't know if they've read the whole thing yet. I met a lady at that soiree that they had, the big anniversary thing, fundraiser, and a couple of them purchased the book. So we're waiting to see. I don't have definitive yet, but they're very grateful. They're very, very grateful for for us doing it, and so I'm happy about that.
Well, two quick things as we wrap up.
Yes.
Our IT guy for our office is a very tall man, and he picked up that book and he goes, I got to buy this book. So he has bought it, purchased it, read it to his roommate, and loves the book, and said it was the most.
Oh, that's cool to
I
know.
think he's going to buy a couple of books for his family, his brothers and sisters, and so very, very
That's dope.
interesting.
We're
And
s- yeah.
we're in it, so he
That's-
read that, but then he read everybody's story.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that was an amazing thing.
All right, you guys, I'm sorry it went over, but it was
Not to worry.
wonderful to see you all and hear your
Yeah.
updates. And let's please still all stay in touch.
Yes, we
Yeah.
will. Good
Y'all
night,
be well.
everyone.
Congratulations to everyone. Send you all the love, all of this, and all the
Okay.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Love
Bye
and
now.
light.